Hey, good morning. I'm here this morning. Don't I look lovely? I love coming to you like this because, well, first of all, it generally breaks the rule of what I'm supposed to look like when I'm professional. And I have something I'm going to share about that soon when I've completed the writing. But I just got back from meeting with someone doing some business this morning from the park. So it was an awesome meeting and something I love doing. I love combining a business with pleasure, and I love to walk. I love to be in nature. And so I invited this woman to join me. And so now I'm back and I'm about to have a snack, some hard-boiled eggs here. And I wanted to come here and talk about this a little bit. So, because you literally can have the life that you want and it can look however you want, but it will feel like a challenge as long as you have societal or generational conditioning. A lot of those are one and the same, and sometimes they're also separate. And I wanted to talk specifically about, well, what is conditioning? What is conditioning? Well, another word for conditioning is domestication. And there are other words for it too, if you really want to go searching. I like to refer to it as like your personal programming. So you were programmed as a kid in some particular way. And I want to read a little bit to you that kind of describes a little bit of this from one of my favorite books. All of my clients get this, The Four Agreements. I refer to this often as a reminder, and this is one of the first books that I read on this personal growth journey that I'm on. That just really resonated with me. When I read it, things made sense to me, and I could feel that in my body. I could feel the truth of it in my body, like my body knew. And so one of the really important things to notice and be aware of is that your body is actually a communicative system. It communicates with you if you learn to listen to it. But most of us in Western world don't do that. We don't listen to our body. We don't know that the pain that we experience is a communication. Sure, sometimes we do hurt ourselves. We hurt our bodies, so we hurt physically because of something we've done, because we fall or we work out and we injure ourselves. But there's also emotional pain that shows up in the physical body. And when you learn to listen to that, you learn to really understand your body in a whole new way, and you can use it to move yourself forward. So as I'm getting started, if you're here, I would love it if you say hi. If you're on the replay, I would love it if you said hello. And I'd also love to hear how this resonates with you, how this sits with you. You can do that in the comments. You can send me a private message. But I really want to talk about what conditioning is, because I think that there are many that are walking around with no idea that they've been conditioned to live and behave a particular way. And that's the thing that keeps you in a stuck state. And it's one of the things that I work on my clients with, is really coming to understand what is your specific conditioning. And then we work to unravel it so that you can learn to make the choices you actually want to be making for your life, so you experience what you want to experience. So I'm just going to read a little bit to you. So this is like elementary school. Do you remember when you sat and you maybe, crisscross applesauce? They didn't use that language whenever I was in school, but that's what they say now, right? Teacher pulls out a book, you sit there and you listen. Are you listening? All right, so let's read, shall we? The outside dream, meaning the outside dream is what we think we're witnessing, right? The dream that we're personally having is our experience of life. Hey, Dio, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. And so that's what this is referring to, is like our personal dream. So the outside dream, which is how all of the world is operating, hooks our attention and teaches us what to believe, beginning with the language that we speak. So if you think about this, you probably never thought about the language that you speak or why you speak it. It's pretty obvious, right? It was the language that was spoken in your home. Language is the code for understanding and communicating between humans. Every letter, every word in each language is an agreement. We call this a page in a book. The word page is an agreement that we understand. Once we understand the code, our attention is hooked and the energy is transferred from one person to another. It was not your choice to speak English or any other language that maybe is your native language. You didn't choose your religion or your moral values. They were already there for you before you were born. We never had the opportunity to choose what to believe or what not to believe. We never chose to even the smallest of these agreements. We didn't even choose our own name. So I don't know if you know anyone. I actually know a couple of people who have, as adults, decided to change their name. And I won't go into all of that, but this is literally choosing for yourself. And here's the kicker, and this is where a lot of my work sits and lies, is really unfolding these beliefs. And again, I mentioned they start in childhood. As children, we didn't have the opportunity to choose our beliefs, but we agreed to the information that was passed to us from the dream of the planet via other humans. The only way to store information is by agreement. The outside dream may hook our attention, but if we don't agree, we don't store that information. As soon as we agree, we believe it, and this is called faith. To have faith is to believe unconditionally. I could go into a whole lot of this, but what I really want you to understand is this is how conditioning starts, right? So if you think about how you were raised, the nitty-gritty of this is everything that was demonstrated in front of you, the way your parents spent money, how they engaged in relationships, how they treated you, all of those impact the agreements you make with the world and how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you see people. It influences your very behavior. So that's how we learn as children. Children believe everything adults say. We agree with them, and our faith is so strong that the belief system controls our whole dream life. We didn't choose these beliefs, and we may even have rebelled against them, but we were not strong enough to win the rebellion. The result is to surrender to the beliefs with our agreement. I call this, meaning the author, the process of domestication of humans, conditioning. And through this domestication, we learn how to live and how to dream. In human domestication, the information from the outside dream is conveyed to the inside dream, creating our whole belief system. First, the child is taught the names of things: mom, dad, milk, bottle. Day by day, at home, at school, church, and from television, we are told how to live and what kind of behavior is acceptable. The outside dream teaches us how to be human. We have a whole concept of what a woman is and what a man is. That's a whole nother topic these days, isn't it? And we also learn to judge. We judge ourselves, judge other people, and judge the neighbors. Children are domesticated the same way that we domesticate a dog, a cat, or any other animal. In order to teach a dog, we punish the dog and we give it rewards. We train our children, who we love so much, the same way we train any domesticated animal, with a system of punishment and reward. If this is resonating with you, I would love to hear from you. We are told, you're a good boy, you're a good girl, when we do what mom and dad want us to do. When we don't, we're a bad girl or a bad boy. When we went against the rules, we were punished. When we went along with the rules, we got a reward. We were punished many times a day, and we were also rewarded many times a day. Soon, we became afraid of being punished and also afraid of not receiving the reward. The reward is the attention that we got from our parents or from other people like siblings, teachers, and friends. We soon develop a need to hook other people's attention in order to get the reward. And that is what I call codependency, when we need other people to validate us and make us feel better. So the reward feels good, and we keep doing what others want us to do in order to get the reward. Codependency. With that fear of being punished and the fear of not getting the reward, we start pretending to be what we are not, just to please others, just to be good enough for someone else, never quite considering what we would actually like for ourselves. We try to please mom and dad. We try to please the teachers at school. We try to please the church. And so we start acting. So in reality, we're all just pretending. We pretend to be what we are not because we are afraid of being rejected. The fear of being rejected becomes the fear of not being good enough. Eventually, we become someone we are not. We become a copy of mama's and dada's beliefs, society's beliefs, and religion's beliefs. This is the kicker. All our normal tendencies are lost in the process of domestication. That right there, full stop. That is also to say, you're probably not feeling like who you really are authentically because you've been people pleasing your entire life, trying to win the approval of other people. And I share this because this is most of the planet. This is most of the planet. That just describes most of how people live their everyday life. They have no idea who they actually really are. And many of my clients, when I ask them what they want, they don't actually know because they're so lost. They are like, I don't even know. I just know that I don't want what they're currently experiencing. So this is an invitation to you to really consider what are the beliefs? What are the things that you adopted, that you agreed to, that don't actually align with your authentic self, with who you really are? And if you need help with that, I'm the one to help you. I extrapolate this information from my clients every day, and we do it from a societal and a generational perspective. And I take it a step further and we look at survival and consciousness. So that's another video for another day, but it's basically looking at what actions, what behaviors do you have that are rooted in trying to survive? Because you have a belief system that's operating that is related to fear of not surviving. So we go pretty deep. All right. That was your book reading for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon.